What happened to Naruto? Seriously, of the big three, Naruto so far seems to be doing the worst, and from what I've seen on social media and online talk, it's the most hated on. Now obviously one of the reasons has to do with the fact that the Naruto anime ended in 2017, so in terms of content there isn't really much to discuss or get hyped over in comparison to One Piece that has been and still is releasing chapters and anime episodes every now and again. Even Bleach, for the longest time now, was in Naruto's position for years, and is now being embraced by fans today, while at the same time obtaining new fans because of the anime being released again. To say Naruto as a franchise has been stale is an understatement in my opinion. For example, the last time we had a proper video game was Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Strikers, which wasn't well received if I'm being nice. And the last time we had a Naruto game that everybody loved was way back in 2016 with Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. Meanwhile, One Piece has had World Seeker and Pirate Warriors 4, and Dragon Ball has Kakarot, Breakers, and as of now, typing the script, a new installment of Budokai Tenkaichi 4. Oh, and don't tell me that the reason why Naruto couldn't get any games was because the anime is finished, because One Piece gets games that offer an original story, like World Seeker, and Shinobi Strikers was made after the original manga has finished. Naruto is still a hot name in anime, and the brand can still sell well. Ultimate Ninja Storm sold over 10.7 million copies, which is more than Dragon Ball FighterZ and Pirate Warriors. Also, this isn't just for video games either. Now I know Boruto is still a thing in the Naruto franchise, but the only time Boruto ever gets mainstream attention is when Naruto or Sasuke has their fights. A good example is the Naruto and Sasuke vs Momoshiki fight, which on YouTube right now has over 62 million views. There is still a massive demand for Naruto, but it's being wasted on for Boruto and his less interesting cast of characters. Now don't get me wrong, Boruto himself I actually think is a pretty good character, and with enough time, he has the potential to be as good as his dad. The problem has to do with the world around him and how badly the writers screwed up the world that the original manga has established. Part of what made the original so interesting was how tribal everything was. Each village had their own aesthetic, and they all felt massive and otherworldly. The ninja world in Boruto feels much more smaller and uninteresting in comparison, because all the villages are at peace with one another, and there is no threat big enough to really make the show feel worth watching. The balance of power in the original manga also made the villains more threatening and unpredictable. Boruto has a disadvantage in the sense because Naruto and Sasuke are way too powerful for anyone to be taken seriously. In order to fix that, they needed to do one of two things. Either you nerf Naruto and Sasuke so bad that they look incompetent, or you make the villains so powerful that they either become gods or alien-like creatures to explain why they're so strong. Unfortunately, Boruto said screw it and chose both options, because Boruto is the name of the show and he needs to overcome those challenges. The entire franchise is in dire need of a reboot in my opinion. I'm sorry, but Teenage Boruto isn't enough for me to sit through mountains of filler just to get to the time skip. Imagine this for a second. I'm in charge of the Naruto brand. What would I do? Alright, so let me explain. The first thing I would do immediately is to drop the Boruto anime and start developing a new Naruto series that takes place during the last era of the franchise. I would have the show develop Naruto into becoming Hokage and earn the title, because up to this point we saw Naruto get stronger and develop his own style of combat. However, we've never actually seen him take the steps to becoming Hokage. This hypothetical show will cover that while also developing Konoha 11. It will also take course over the years that have skipped from Shippuden to Boruto. The biggest obstacle of this would be the fact that Naruto and Sasuke are way too powerful for anyone in the ninja world to take on, and the fact that the 5 great nations are at peace and working together makes it a little bit more difficult to create a threat interesting enough to write a story around. However, I have a solution, but you would need to hear me out on this. OG Naruto was all about Naruto and Konoha 11, and most of the story dealt with the figures inside the village. Shippuden then expanded to Naruto and his village, dealing with the other nations, and was also all about the ninja world in general. I propose that Naruto Part 3 should expand even further, and have it be about Naruto, the ninja world, and the enemies from beyond the world that they already know. What if everything in the ninja world that we have just seen is just one part of the overall world, and that there's so much unexplored land far and away from the world that we already know? Like, we see how the map looks like, all the nations are grouped together, and we really haven't seen much outside of that. Now you can say that is all there is in the Naruto universe, but Kishimoto I feel drew the ninja world map in a way, unintentionally or not, that can allow for this type of expansion to happen. We saw samurais in Shippuden, but what about introducing Vikings, Spartans, or even pirates? No, not those pirates. These type, like a new type of pirates established just for Naruto. I'm not talking about the One Piece ones. Into the series. Let's say that this unexplored land is inhabited by these type of warriors. It gives Naruto way more story potential, and it actually gives the show more villains and threats to overcome. This can work because unlike what is going on with Boruto and them introducing villains that have no place in a superpowered ninja series, this actually fits with Naruto because they're outside of the known world we've seen from the show so far. We can write them to be as powerful as Naruto or Sasuke. Now one issue is how we can bring them into the series while also making sense to what happens prior to Shippuden. My solution would be that ever since Madara activated Project Tsukuyomi, it affected everyone on the planet, including those outside the ninja world. This can allow for those enemies to give them an incentive to explore the 5 great nations, and boom, there you go, a new Naruto series with far more potential for expansion and characters that you can further explore. And for you Boruto fans out there, you can have this also be a segue for a Boruto series after this part 3 of Naruto. However, this way it would be more fitting because now you can find ways to make Naruto take on other threats that aren't just aliens from another world like what we're getting now. In terms of video games, first, what I would do is either find a developer to create a Naruto fighting game, because after Fighter Z, I think there's a demand for a game like that for Naruto. But let's get more creative. How about an action-adventure open-world Naruto game in the same vein as, let's say, Breath of the Wild? You can base the story that has already been told or create a brand new story. Now you can base this game off a story that has already been told, or you can create a brand new original story made specifically for this game. Have the graphics stylized and the combat as extra and hammy as Devil May Cry or Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Have RPG mechanics and allow for the open world to feel innovative on the genre. You can also combine my story idea and make a game series. Imagine being able to fight chakra infused Vikings or Spartans as adult Naruto without being nerfed. We also need more Naruto movies. If I were in charge, I would opt to tell more original stories about the last era, but this time I would have them change the animation style. Where Dragon Ball and One Piece managed to update their style and make it look more cinematic and fresh while also staying true to the manga counterparts. I would like the art style to be more how the original manga was, but updated. It looks way more stylized than what we got in the anime, and it would work, and I feel like it fits with the style of the show set for itself already. Now, all these are just ideas that I thought about in the back of my mind and that I feel like can work considering we haven't got much from Naruto franchises of late. I know that Boruto is still going on, but let's not lie, the conversation around that show is nowhere near as it was when Naruto was still going, or even other shows like Dragon Ball, One Piece, or even Bleach that has just came out. Like a lot of the Naruto fandom went to One Piece or Dragon Ball because I feel Naruto is already pretty much done. That being said, there is a way to revive the franchise and bring it back to its former glory. Now, obviously, my ideas aren't the end-all be-all. I'm sure you guys have other ideas of how Naruto can come back. I know people are talking about an anime remake, and that can be great as well, but I think expanding the world and making the world feel more lived in, I think is a better idea. I generally think this can work. Alright, so this is pretty much what I have for Naruto. It's a show that I really loved, and it's a show that I grew up with. So yeah, to see that it hasn't been doing as well today as it was before kind of makes me upset. So let me know if this is something that you guys would like to see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.